media. Here we are at Breakbulk Middle East on the second day of the show, and we've just finished a compelling session on port efficiency, technology, AI, all kinds of things. And here with me in the studio is Gallie from ConexBird, who was on the stage, and I had a chance to just meet him for a few moments yesterday, and he's got so much insight into how technology can be applied. We want to hear about his company, but I have to tell you that he is a second-generation breakbulk guy, right?
Yes, that's correct, actually, and you'll see the first generation wandering around here somewhere.
I love that. All right, let's start with the panel. What are some of the highlights and things that you talked about?
So the panel today was primarily on AI and digitalization. I find I ended up talking a bit more about digitalization because ultimately this is something that is still being addressed. It's still in the process of being addressed by the shipping industry. I must say a lot of progress has been made in the past few years, what with electronic bills of lading and all these platforms which are emerging and stuff like that. But there's still a lot of work to do. And ultimately, my view is that some of the more advanced or esoteric artificial intelligence applications, they depend on the industry reaching this minimum standard of digitalization first.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. I have to think too that as some of the AI programs like ChatGPT, of course, become more mainstream and people understand that, I think that'll filter into the industry too and help people see that it's not scary, it's not a robot taking their job, whatever that is, right? So looking forward, and maybe you address this on the panel or from your own perspective, where do you see the industry? What kind of progress do you project, say, over the next 5 years?
Well, over the next 5 years, we'll continue seeing this trend of increasing adoption of digital technologies, starting with just the basic digitalization of a lot of this documentation, a lot of the information which is needed to do work in shipping. And then, as actually others on the panel mentioned, the people who are already there, the terminals and the ship operators who are already at this stage, what we're starting to see with them is optimization. It's taking all the data that they have and extracting insight from it. That's the next step. And we will also be seeing a lot more of that over the next 5 years. This manifests itself in demand forecasting, in ETAs, predicting ETAs, and extracting insight from your current operations, say in terms of route optimization and things like that. I think we'll be seeing a lot more of this over the next few years.
And something interesting that you mentioned to me yesterday is that machine learning is really a type of artificial intelligence. Can you explain that to our audience?
Yeah, so in essence, artificial intelligence is an umbrella term for software that can learn. For computer programs which, when given a set of instructions and some information, they can learn things about that, which can be applied to future information. Machine learning is one method of doing so. It's a method we apply at ConexBird for rather technical reasons I won't get into here, but it's, that's essentially what machine learning and AI are.
So not scary. Okay, so now let's turn to your company that you're co-owner of, ConexBird. Tell me what you do and how it serves the industry.
Yeah, so ConexBird is a tech company in the container shipping segment. And what we're essentially doing is we're measuring the structural integrity of containers while they're being lifted by cranes. So we put a device on the spreader, we use resonance testing is the technical term, and of course machine learning, as I just mentioned. And with that, we're able to provide information on the container's damage and on its structural integrity.
So, big risk reducer.
Yes, actually, yeah, that's one of the main benefits we provide. is reducing the overall liability burden. Yeah, but both for individual players, for ports, for shipping lines, and but also for the industry as a whole. Yeah? Everyone ultimately benefits from systems like these in place because we reduce the amount of incidents that occur. Yeah? When a container gets dropped from a crane, yeah, or when the cargo falls out of the bottom, this might this might initially be the port's concern, but this is ultimately everyone's concern. You know, everyone has an interest in seeing technologies like ConexBirds, yeah, make the industry smarter, make it safer, make it more robust. This is this is something everyone is working towards.
I have to say that it sounds like it's a fairly easy piece of technology to implement. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, it's certainly easier than moving some of this big heavy equipment around. That's for sure. Huh? Yeah, it is quite easy to implement, and it's designed to be retrofitted onto existing spreaders. You don't have to go out and get new equipment just to make ConexBird work. That's a very important feature.
All right, now give us your impressions of the event.
Yeah, so I must admit, this is my first time at Breakbulk Middle East. I've been at Breakbulk Europe before, and I am really very happy with the turnout here. Huh? It's very busy, it's very active as well. You can feel there's a lot of energy here. People are really excited to be doing business. Not just here to walk around and see the sights, but you can. The other panelists were all telling me that there's a lot of activity going on. Huh? It's going very well.
That is good to hear, and I am certain there's a lot of interest in your company and the product. I love it. So we will certainly spread the news about that, and thank you so much for joining us.